Every single day, I try to exercise. On my walk, I go down some busy Nashville streets, and then I cross a fairly busy intersection on my way to the trails and quieter side streets that lead to the dam and the lake. As I was walking down the street this day, I approached the crosswalk. And there, on the other side of the street, parked at the curb right in front of the crosswalk, was an older white woman. She had her driver's side window down, which meant that I would be passing by her open window, and at some point, I would be less than a few feet away from her. When you live in the South, and you're 6'2" and black with dreadlocks, you know how some people perceive you. I have had a lifetime of white women reacting to me in fear, not because of my size or because of my clothing, but because of my blackness. But let me be clear. I have also had a lot of white women react to me because of the complete and utter magnitude of my sexiness. But in this moment, I was keenly aware that my blackness was going to be a problem. As the light was getting ready to change, I realized that I was going to have to pass right by her, and at some point, she was going to see me walking toward her, and I knew that she was going to be scared, that I was going to frighten her. I decided at that moment, like I do in most moments, that I was going to do everything I possibly could do to keep an old white lady from freaking out. Everything I could. I took off the hood to my sweatshirt to expose my face. I wanted to appear like a black Mr. Rogers, just taking a stroll through the neighborhood. I took off my sunglasses so that she could see my eyes. I took off my headphones so she would know I could hear her. I put on a smile, a big, a bright one. Have you seen my smile? It's pretty dope. I was trying to say to her, I am not menacing. I am not a thief. I am not a thug. I am just me. It's me, Tyler. The light changed, and as I walked toward her car, I slowed down. I was saying to myself in hushed tones, Black Mr. Rogers, Black Mr. Rogers. As I got within a few feet of her, she saw me, and her reaction was not at all what I thought it was going to be. It was worse. This woman lost it for real. First, this woman practically jumped out of her seat, her gray hair nearly touching the roof of the cab. Oh my God, she said, terrified like she had just seen a velociraptor attack Betty White. I am sorry for that visual. Betty White is a national treasure, I tell you. This woman grabbed her purse from the passenger seat and then frantically rolled up her window. I heard the click of her automatic door locks activating. And then she stared straight ahead at the stoplight. She wouldn't look at me. She tried to pretend I didn't exist. As I crossed in front of her truck in that crosswalk, I stopped. I looked at this poor woman and I laughed. I wasn't laughing at her. I was laughing because I wanted to say, lady, if you only knew. Lady, if you only knew how much work I just put into trying to make sure what just happened didn't just happen. Lady, if you only knew my purposeful, intentional effort to disarm myself of all aggressive black man-ish, anything that might be misconstrued as frightening. Lady, if you only knew that I taught Sunday school every week at church to kids because I want kids of all colors and backgrounds to know the universe-changing reality, love of God. Lady, if you only knew that I love my mother more than life itself, and just the sound of her voice is like cocoa butter to the skin of my soul. Lady, if you only knew that mere seconds ago I was listening to the soundtrack of the Broadway show Bring It On, the musical. A musical about cheerleaders. But she did not know. Instead, this woman saw me as a threat, clear and present, and clutched her pearls and locked her doors. That moment ruined my walk. As I walked back home, I began trying to process this, and the thought came to me, if she knew me, maybe she wouldn't be afraid, but even more than that, if this woman knew me, I mean, if she really knew me, I bet she might even like me. Oh, but more than that, I bet I could make her smile. I bet I'd make her feel valued. I bet I would make her feel joy at just being alive. I bet I'd become one of her favorite people if she knew me. I bet she would love me.